Good evening, everyone. Although I've started recording this in the afternoon, this is When Alt Season, episode 2. This is basically get yourself a cup of tea, pause it now, get yourself a cup of tea, a brew, whatever you want. But this is when I basically go through all the key charts, break it all down to try and guess, put it all together on when do we think alt season and the bigger moves going to play out. Okay, so if you watched the last one, if you haven't watched the last one, go back there. I've got it on a playlist. This is going to be the second one, so what I can say is all the charts are moving in the right direction from last time, which is a good sign. We're going to jump straight into the Federal Reserve balance sheet. So this is key. This is really key because when the Federal Reserve is increasing their balance sheet, this is basically when they are injecting liquidity into the economy. They are printing money. Very simply, when they print money, prices go up, and when they remove money from the economy, prices go down. But you can see here, I've used these angles here just to follow the steepness. It's starting to round off. You know, it was that angle, now that angle, and now this angle. And you can see here, for the first time in a long time, it's pretty much flat lined across. Now this will be with the FOMC last meeting. They have said they are basically stopping this runoff from the balance sheet. It's basically going down, I think it's 80 or 90% it was. So that was pretty much like a stranglehold on the market because it's taken money out of the economy. But it's still squeezing, you know, they've still got the hands round the throat essentially, but they've let their hands off very much. So, you know, we're starting to breathe now. You can see this, it's starting to round off, we're starting to breathe. Now, the next FOMC meeting, are they going to say, because they've essentially stopped last month, are they now going to say, we are now pausing this? Now, the pause will be a huge move because it's going from removing money from the economy to keeping it as it is. So, at least they have now removed the hands from the throat and we're able to breathe. The next step is for them to start printing, but we'll take the next step of just pausing the now, and that should be enough to get things going. Now, once this balance sheet ticks up above here, this is essentially when money starts going in heavy. It's the start of an uptrend. See, when it crosses over, goes right up there. Got a wee fake out there, but there's a little trick there for interest rates which will make us just ignore that one. But I'll keep that one in my back pocket for another time, guys. So hasn't stopped it completely, but looking good. You know, it's starting to round off, and that one is the flattest we've seen it for 1, 2, 3, 4, almost a month now. So good start on the balance sheet. Now, just like last time, I've got all these notes because this is going to be probably an hour-long video. So like I said, guys, pause it, get yourself a cup of tea. I've got myself a cup of tea here as well. So if you hear me stop talking, I'm probably just wetting the whistle. So let's get into the next chart. This is total 2. This is the entire market cap except Bitcoin. So it's Ethereum downwards. Now, as we can see here, we were in this wedge. We broke out and it looked like we were doing a retest. Breakout, retest, move up. But what did it do? Broke down, broke all the way down, and then broke that trend line. So it looked like we were then on course for a huge move down there because it's breaking all the structure. But in typical crypto fashion, it likes to reverse just as hard. So we have now bullish RSI divergence on the weekly. which is huge news. This is on the weekly chart, so we're expecting a big move here coming from here. Now, as well as that, we also have a fake out. So when there's a fake out, when price dumps past and look as if it's going to break down and then it completely reverses, this is usually a big move in the opposite direction when it gets around. So we have that as well. We also have, it is now back above. It's cleared the wedge and it's cleared that trend line as well. So we're now back into trend with bullish divergence. So superb start here. And this is with basically Ethereum and that starting to wake up as well. Very, very slowly waking up. But look, guys, when we basically have consolidation down and then we get a green print on the cumulative volume delta. Now this is basically volume, but it tells you green is when there's more buying volume and red is when there's more selling volume overall. So when we get a whole consolidation and then we get a green print, price moves. We get all this consolidation and a green print, price moves. We got all this consolidation and we have now got a green print. So again, more bullish on this. Now what else do we have? Stochastic RSI. I mean, that's crossed, faked out, crossed, faked out, crossed again, and now it's reaching up. So this is also a good sign. We need to get both lines above 20 for a confirmed uptrend. So in terms of the alt market, including Ethereum and all the big caps, things are starting to look good. We have got the bullish divergence. We've got the retrace on the 100 EMA, which is here, the 200, and it's bounced off. We've got the fake out and the reclaim of the trend. We've got the stochastic RSI, and we have the green print for the first time after a consolidation period. Sorry guys, just drinking the tea. So overall, alts, including big caps and Ethereum, are starting to look good. They're still making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and fake out reversal. Coming in with some volume as well. So, looking good on total 2. Now, let's go into total 3. This is the entire market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, if you look here, guys, you can see Bitcoin's on the total 2, which includes, the only difference between this and this is that total 2 includes Ethereum. So if you see it's just on trend line now, total 3 is above the trend line and it's actually breaking out a wedge. And the reason why that is because ETH has been lagging so hard this cycle that the big caps have been running better than Ethereum, so it's brought the total 3 market cap up higher quicker than it would than the one holding Ethereum, because right now it's been like a dead weight on total 2, but total 3 doesn't have Ethereum, so that's why it's looking in better shape. Doesn't mean that I'm bearish on Ethereum. I am really getting bullish on Ethereum here. I think once things start to move, Ethereum will run, and it's a fact that the institutions have the ETFs now, so I think big money's just building their positions, and then once they're ready, we'll know it when Ethereum wakes up. So let's look at total 3. The total market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what do we have, guys? We have high, higher high, and on the RSI, low, lower low. We've got bullish RSI divergence. See it? See, that's an uptrend and that's a downtrend. They're diverging from each other. This is bullish. So we have got the RSI saying there's bullish divergence. So that means there is an uptrend coming. It's about to push hard upwards, but it doesn't tell you when. So we look at the RSI and we see that and we're like, okay, it's coming when? There's a reversal coming. So now let's have a look at some technicals and see if we can spot what's happening. So as you can see, we've got the wedge, we've got the breakout, and it's a retest, and it didn't even come to retest that. This is how much this was moving. It's reclaimed the 50 EMA, fake out, jump back up above it. It has broken out of the consolidational wedge here, which is a bullish pattern. So we have the breakout, the retest, it's formed a bullish wedge, it's broke out the retest, and it's reclaimed the 50 EMA. So bullish right now. So bullish. And what else do we have? We've got the stochastic RSI. Look, right down at the bottom, one of the averages is up. We're just waiting for the other, and once we get a weekly close on that, that's a confirmed uptrend started reversal. So we don't have all the signs yet, but we have a signal to say there's a reversal coming. We have all the technicals saying a reversal and a breakout is happening. And what do we get similar to on total 2? When you get the consolidation and a green print, uptrend. Consolidation, green print, uptrend. Consolidation, and then what have we got? Green print. See it? We got the green print. That means more buying volumes come in on this breakout here. How bullish is this, guys? So we have the market cap saying we have basically broken out, retest, and now we're going to start the next leg up. Brilliant. Cup of tea. Next one, guys. Others. This is the altcoins, basically. This is the total market cap, but you've got the top 10 coins removed, so you don't have any Cardano, XRP. You don't have any of that, Bitcoin or Ethereum. They're all removed. So it's just basically below the top 10, outside the top 10. It's the more kind of degenerate altcoin. This is why it's a very important one to watch. So this won't be moving as hard yet, but we can still see the signs of things starting to move. So we have the uptrend here, quick wee fake out, and it's back up, which is good, and it's holding the 200 EMA as support. We also have a breakout of the trend. See it? Now we need a weekly close above it. The weekly close, this is why I saved this until Sunday, because then I only have 9 hours. If I did it on a Thursday or a Tuesday or something, so a lot can happen in the week there. But if I do it on a Sunday, I've only got 9 hours left, so hopefully nothing too crazy will happen from here. But it looks like we're getting a weekly close above trend, and we've held the 200 EMA as support. So this is looking good for the altcoins as well. Now the altcoins, they're going to be lagging behind total 3. The market, this run up here was basically all about Cardano, XOP, XRP, then big caps there. That's what's really pushed these higher, but these ones tend to run behind. So in theory, you get Bitcoin, Ethereum, the top 10, and then below the top 10. But this cycle, we've had Bitcoin, the kind of top 10, ETH's been sleeping, and then the alts will start moving behind it. But this is good, guys, at the early signs of the breakout, so everything's looking good here. And we've got the stochastic. See, we've got one line above. The other one's not too far behind as well. And we're still waiting for that volume print, but as you can see, it's not far away. It's not far away. So lagging behind, but still all in a bullish uptrend. This looks like the start of the reversal here. See it? And while I'm going through this, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm on 129 subscribers, so let's get this up to 150, guys. Just hit the subscribe button, share it to friends. Everyone there, I don't think there's another YouTuber that will go through this in this much depth and not put it behind a paywall. You know, most people will save this for a paywall, but I will do these updates maybe once a month, completely free, just dropping all the charts and info in here. So hit a like button, give us a comment, and share it with a friend. You know, let's get this channel moving again. Let's get, especially for this last leg up, let's get it popping. Okay, so we got that. So we covered the main altcoin crypto market indexes there. So now let's go into Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now there's two measures here. Ethereum Bitcoin, that's just here. This is measured in price. Yeah. Ethereum Bitcoin here, this is measured using market cap. So the difference is price doesn't take into supply of the tokens, but the market cap does. But it's a good thing because it's essentially saying the same thing. Yeah. So if we look at that, it's essentially the same thing. But it's good to have the market cap as well, especially on Ethereum Bitcoin, just so it takes into the change of token supply as well. But it's still taking the same trend, so let's just go into Ethereum Bitcoin and we'll have a look at what we're doing now. People that watch the videos, you'd have heard me talking about this recently, I believe. But this is where the last bull market for the alt started. You know, this is when Ethereum bottomed against Bitcoin, and this whole thing was the alt season. So guys, look how close we are. You know what I mean? You would expect it to have maybe started earlier, but with the Fed having the stranglehold on Ethereum and the alts, and just it's still reducing its balance sheet. It's never had a chance to run, but I've got it down here as the 7th of May for the FOMC. You know, if you look at it, the market says there's not going to be a rate cut, but what if they say something like, okay, we are done running off the balance sheet? You know, it's just going to go off. This is going to be, because it's essentially taking the foot off your throat. This is going to move up. And look guys, I followed this trend line, this market just capitulating down, and look, I've got it capitulating into the FOMC meeting. Now that trend basically also aligns with the full market reset of ETH Bitcoin. It's so crazy how it all works out. This is why I always follow the charts, and I tune out all social media and news. I just follow charts. But look at this. Would this not make sense for Ethereum to start outpacing Bitcoin just as we hit the same price as we did last cycle before Ethereum and the alts ran? We've got it down to here, and just as it hits the FOMC, that trend line, look, this is how crazy this is. The trend line essentially hits the double bottom just at the FOMC meeting. It's so crazy, yeah. So it's like, that's almost like the Ethereum Bitcoin is just trending into that FOMC meeting for a double bottom. So for me, it just makes sense that something's going to happen there. I don't know what it is, but we'll come back to this video, I'm sure, when something like that happens. So let's have a look what we're saying with Ethereum in Bitcoin. So if I jump on the daily here, we have bullish daily divergence. You see that? Oh. See it? Lower low, higher high. So that's bullish daily divergence. So that's telling us there's going to be a move up, which it's done now. Now it doesn't tell us when, but it tells us it's going to be a move up. And look guys, we've technically got a breakout here. Look, it's never done this before. You know, as it's run down, it's basically just run down. Maybe a wee bit at the start, and a wee bit here, nothing too crazy. But you could probably cut that angle, take that one down there and cut that down into here. But look, this is the first time it's really it's broken out a trend, and we've got no momentum there. But look, it's just starting to bull flag. You know, you're just seeing like a little snippet of something just starting to happen here. So, weekly close, how's it looking? Get a weekly close above the trend. That'll be a good start anyway. So we got the bullish daily divergence, and I was saying there's technically a breakout but no momentum yet. And we've done a full reset of, you know, if it comes down further, we'd have done a full reset of the last cycle. You know, it's gone all the way up there and it's started. This is essentially like buying it back then. You know what I mean? Just before that bull market. We're so close to this, to alt season. You know, it's so close, I think. So, what else have we got in case I've missed anything here? We've also got the most oversold on the RSI since time has begun on this. How crazy is that? Look, the RSI has never been so oversold like it has there, and we're almost at the bottom. Oh, we're almost at the bottom. So you can see it's just like full resets from the last cycle, trend line into the FOMC, and we've got the most oversold RSI it's ever been. So you just know there's a reversal coming here. There's a reversal coming. Now, what the narrative is, I don't know what's going to be, but someone's going to say something that's going to send this off. And I'm imagining it's going to be something from the FOMC. We might not get the rate cuts, but if he pauses the balance reduction, then that might be enough to get this thing moving. So that covers Ethereum, Bitcoin. Now this is the opposite to what this is. And the reason I like this is because this is Bitcoin and Ethereum, price in Ethereum. So the last one was how many Ethereum can get a Bitcoin. This is how many, Bitcoin get an Ethereum. This is how many Ethereum one Bitcoin can buy. So when price is going up, Bitcoin is outpace Ethereum because Bitcoin is now saying I can buy 36 Ethereum, I can buy 40 Ethereum with one Bitcoin, I can buy 48 with one Bitcoin, I can buy 58 with one Bitcoin. You know, it's moving up. So when this is moving up, Bitcoin is outpacing Ethereum, but when this is moving down, Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin. And when Ethereum outpaces Bitcoin, we get alt season. Now, when I say alt season, guys, you know, the previous alt seasons, you know, we had thousands of coins. Now we have millions of coins. So these million coins are not all going to run. Yeah? So if you're in some random tiny thing that no one's heard of or knows anything about, you can do that, but it's going to be at a risk that it might not run because there's only going to be so much money that's going to send these alts, and they're going to be into mainly, say, I'm going to guess here, top 500. You know what I mean? Top 200 for sure. But if you're in some crazy little minute meme coin that you're trying to make $1 billion off, don't do it. Get into some solid coins and ride this season up, because you're still going to make a lot of money, but you're just reducing the risk of missing it, because these little coins that no one's heard of, yes, you might pick them, you might pick that well, but what are the chances of you picking it up well? And all these little small coins, it's all insiders, so you're going to have to beat the insiders that are releasing these coins, and they have all the knowledge. You don't have all the knowledge. So for me, pick solid coins in the top 100. Yeah, solid coins, top 100, strong narratives, and you'll see the gains there, and you'll reduce your risk massively. And guys, if you're looking for like a 50x, you know, that, say if you hit a 10x and then you rotated it into another one that hit a 10x, you got 100x there, but you've just rotated it off two nice solid coins rather than doing a high risk 100x. You know, I would rather rotate into high cap coins and make your 20x 30x that way, rather than trying to get this small altcoin to run, because the chances are not all the 20 million coins that we have, they're not all going to run up. You know, last time it was only thousands of coins, now we've got millions. So treat it like it was last time and just invest in as if it's the thousands. You know, just ignore below 1,000 for a start. Try and get into the top 100, really, would be my advice. So this is like Ethereum, Bitcoin, but it's Bitcoin priced. Ethereum, how many Ethereum can one Bitcoin get? So this is what I really like about this chart, is it gives you the blow off top angles. So the parabolic blow off top, which is renowned in Bitcoin, you know, but you can measure it in trend lines every time putting an angle in, and you can see from last time we've actually got a new angle in, I believe. Have we? Maybe I didn't, because maybe a month ago. When was a month ago? Say, we maybe just started this trend line. So you can see how this trend line's held up. But once this starts breaking down, you know, this is really when this starts breaking down, this is when Ethereum starts outpacing Bitcoin. And look guys, does this not look blow off toppy to you? Look at the angles it's gone. So it's gone here and it's almost gone vertical. See? So now we're trying to get the early sign of alt season here on the break of this trend. So let's have a look what my notes are for this one for getting through it, guys. So daily RSI divergence. So we have, see it? High, lower high, high, higher high. So that is daily RSI. So we should be seeing a move down on the daily. Now, if this doesn't move down on the daily, we're potentially going to break this trend line. But we don't know when this just tells us there's going to be a move. There's going to be a reversal move soon. It doesn't tell you when. So we need to look at the technicals for that. So, RSI trend break. OI. This is this line here. So, let me just try and get this for you. As you can see, RSI has held this trend all the way up, little fake out. But look, it's done a breakdown, retest, and it's moving down. So if the RSI has just broken its trend and price is just on the trend line here, we could be getting this trend break very soon, guys. Which would be, you know, it's just one sign for us to show that it's alt season, but this is, you know, this is starting to show us this is starting. So we've got the RSI breaking trend and we've got price on trend. It would not surprise me for that to break. Break a trend, but we need confluence, agree. It's into heavy resistance. So look how far that's gone up. It's done its parabolic blow-off move and it's gone straight, almost just short of this here. Straight into heavy resistance there. So it hasn't tapped it, so it might come up and hit it, but you know, it's going to be hard for it to get through this. You know, this is for me, I can't see it going higher than here. This is almost like the full reset. You know, this is a move that's happened, and then alt season. This is the move that's happened, then alt season. You know what I mean? It's almost just oscillated one for one. So we've got that into heavy resistance, and we've also had the 3-bar surge in the monthly. So if you look at this monthly here, look how wild this got, guys. So we're sitting there comfortably. This is the monthly, so each candle's a month. Going along, going along, going along, going along. 1, 2, 3. Normally when you get a big 3-bar surge, that's almost like a blow-off top-ish kind of finisher move. And we've got it on the monthly there, so that's another sign saying, you know, this huge blow-off now could be exhausted because the last 3 months it's just ripped. So all these signs are pointing. I mean, I'm just looking at this now. Look, I'm looking at the weekly there. This is also a potential reversal candle, top and tail. So we potentially got in 9 hours, if it closes at this is almost a reversal candle. At the very top, into resistance, after a 3-bar surge on the monthly with a break of trend on the RSI. You can see, guys, there's so much that's telling us price is moving forward from last time, which is brilliant. Now, what are we on here? Bitcoin dominance. So let's have a look at it. Now, Bitcoin dominance. Let's see what we are saying about that. So we've got bearish divergence on the RSI. See it? Let me close this down. Let me close the fear and greed so I can try and get this. So, see it on the weekly. High, higher high, and on the RSI, low, lower low. So this pivot hasn't changed yet, it hasn't turned, but right now as it stands, it's weekly RSI divergence. So potentially a reversal's coming, unless this just scoops up and takes that. So let's just say we're looking for that. We're looking for that move. Then next, what we're going to look for. The stochastic RSI has that topped out. So we're looking for a reversal sign right now, yeah? And if we look at the stochastic RSI, this is going back to 2016, 15. Look, guys. You see how the stochastic RSI tops at this level every single time? Yeah? Where is it? It's just topped at that level again, hasn't it? It's topped at 100. So it can't get, you know, the top is 100. You know what I mean? So Bitcoin dominance is completely maxed out right now to the upside of the trend. And if I zoom in a little bit closer, you see that, guys? We've almost got the crossover at bloody almost 100. Has that even happened before? once, maybe a couple times. Yeah, so this looks like it's topped out to me. I still need more signs, but if I'm seeing RSI divergence and I'm seeing stochastic RSI at 100 and topped out at here where it tops out and reverses every time, to me it's like it starts to make sense a little bit more. So break of small trend should lead to break of bigger trend. Okay, so what I'm saying here is, guys, is once this trend line, we say it's a small trend, but this has been going since November, start of December 2024. So 4 or 5 months. Once this trend line breaks, if we put this move up here, price is, it's very much going to be breaking this trend line. It's probably going to be breaking here. It's not just going to do a little move like this after this trend line break. You know, trend line breaks move, say like here, then it might come up and do a retest. And when it retests, look, it's coming straight into that trend line, straight into that horizontal, and then it starts moving down. Yeah. So guys, if any of you know the channel, again guys, hit the like button if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm on 129, I want 150 by the end of this video. Someone's getting it, right? So hit the subscribe button, guys. This is just pure alpha that is normally behind a paywall. I could honestly just put this behind a paywall and I could make a lot of money from it. But I don't care. I'm putting it for free. Now, if you watch the channel, you know that I like the 100% wick fill, 50% wick fill, and I've left that on the whole time. Now, a couple of months ago, most of the candles were filled. This is when you get a reversal candle, a very long wick, and then price goes back up to retrace for it. And once it fills it, it tends to reverse. But it didn't refill this, you know, the other ones refilled quite quickly, but look how long it's taken this. It's taken from February to April, end of April, to fill this, but the wick fill has now hit the top of that wick. So we are looking for a reversal happening at some time. We have a wedge here, which is a downward, which is a bearish pattern. If we get a break of trend here, it's likely to break a trend of the major trend here. We've got 100% wick, that's a refill, a reversal candle, and we've got a stochastic RSI up here, maxed out. So, can go higher. Aye, so what I would like here is, because Bitcoin, if I just jump into this main move here. Now, Bitcoin moves in waves. And it's the Elliott wave of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in theory, that's the top. However, in commodities and Bitcoin, they tend to have a blow-off fifth, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know where that's going to go. 180. I've just randomly moved that, not for the price, just to show you what happens. Now, so if this is the main leg of the fifth wave, we want to see alts start moving. You know, because Bitcoin's always led this. I want to see alts move now with this, and I want to see, like it was in the last cycle, where alts start outstripping Bitcoin as it moves up. So Bitcoin moves up, alts are moving up faster. That's what I want to see in this leg up. Because otherwise, we're going to get the fifth blow-off wave, right? And we'll get to here. And then alts are going to start running here. Just, you know, they can still do it. It kind of happened in the last cycle when all alts started pinging off when Bitcoin was rotating down and moving around. So alts could run off here. But then you're really topping out. You know, we might have to wait that long, but I really want to see alts start to run with this. on this next leg up with Bitcoin. And then that will give the breakdown of the dominance and give us alt season there. Now, I don't know. That's what I want. Will the market give me it? Who knows? Who knows? But that's, for me, makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so we covered Bitcoin dominance. My tea's all done. And we're about, I don't know how far we're through it now. We're getting through it, guys. Others versus total minus others. So this is basically the alts. Look how beautiful this. I don't even think people look at this chart. And look how beautiful that called it. This is such good. The technical analysis that can be done on this is so beautiful. It's just picture perfect almost, like. So this is whether the top 10 is essentially outstripping the other alts. So Cardano, etc. are outstripping the other alts. So the alts moved up, and then you got this big run of XRP, Cardano, all that up there, and now it looks like others could potentially start outrunning the top 10. Yeah, because look at this. This goes back from 2018, and it's just tapped it. Now look at the moves here. So you can use something called Fib trend extension, and it will give you the move, a measured move of 1 for 1. So if I go down here, go up to here. Oh, wait a minute, guys. I'm going to have to... I've got the one on there, so that should be okay. Let me just take this off. See? Now, so that move goes there, it retraces, and then from there to there is the equivalent of there to that one. See that yellow? See how that yellow matches that perfectly? So it's moved up, it's taken 100% measured move of that last move, so it's basically just copied this move. This happens a lot in TA. So you have that move, price comes down, it then moves up, and then from there it does an exact same measured move down. Yeah. And then from there you get the exact same measured move from here. Oh, what have I done there? From here down to there. Yeah. It's the same move again. Boom, boom. Same measured move. And look where it's come into. So we've got measured move, pullback, and the measured move. And then we've got the move, the pullback, and then the measured move. And it's come straight into 100% of that move is 100% of that move, and it's straight into that trend line, and we've got a bounce off. How cool is that, guys? Now, if that's a bit too complicated, let us know in the comments. You know, I can go through this in more detail, or in the next one I do. But basically, the Fib extension is just it's used to try and project targets into the future, because they take a measured move quite often. So if you see, okay, it's come down here, it's come down here, and that's where it stopped. Where am I measured moved? The 0.618, the 100%, or it might go 1.618 above that, an extension of that move. Yeah, so that's just played up perfectly into here, and now we're in resistance, and we're bouncing off it. So in theory, once this starts to move up, the altcoins outside the top 10 should be moving harder than the altcoins in the top 10. And if that is doing that, that should coincide with the FOMC loosening off, because that's the only reason that the alts are going to run harder than the top 10 if we get better economic situation for us. But it looks like the charts are sniffing this out. It hasn't been announced yet, but you can see from the charts someone knows something, I think, and we're going to find out soon. Okay, so how are the alt size doing? So we've got the trend measurements, we've got the trend line support. Do we see a bounce? Aye, yeah, so this is what I was saying there. If the FOMC is saying it's stopping the reduction of the balance sheet, you know, it's already bounced and you just see this start to rip up. Okay, so others priced in Bitcoin. Now, this has a huge trend line. Now, this is whether the altcoins outside the top 10 are stripping are running harder than Bitcoin. So you can see here, when the alt season goes, Bitcoin's moving up, but the others is basically just stripping right past it and topping out against Bitcoin. And then when Bitcoin's been running harder than the alts this entire time, you know, we can feel that. We felt that all the way down. Alts have been bleeding against it. Alts outside the top 10 have been bleeding against Bitcoin all the way down here. Now, we've got a break of major trend here. Very, very dangerous. But it doesn't seem to be going very far. And let me just tell you why I think this might be a fake out. So, how alts are doing top 10 versus Bitcoin, I explained that. Currently below the major trend line. I agreed with that as well. However, stochastic RSI is at the bottom. Yeah. So we've got this at the bottom and we've got a green cross. It's turned over. Now we need to see this above 20 to confirm the reversal, but this is the sign that we're looking for. So you can see the others aren't running faster. They're still taking their time to get moving, but you can see the early signs of it. So we've got that. We've got the bullish RSI divergence. Could set up a false move, which leads to, yeah. So we've got a low and a lower low here. And look, we've got a low, and a higher low here. So this is the RSI divergence. So this means a move is coming upwards soon. We don't know when, but this is what happens. The RSI and price diverge from each other. So we're saying a move's coming soon, and we've got stochastic RSI and the weekly crossing over. Superb. Yeah, so this is a comment from the old one. The bounces seem to be having. So if you get the bounce from there, it was a 12x from the bottom, 6x. So say if it halves again, and we get a 3x, a 3x will take us to almost like a double top there. Now, this is not a 3x, this is a 3x on top of Bitcoin. So, if Bitcoin moves up, if Bitcoin doubles, does a 2x, this will double this is the double of Bitcoin. So, sorry, this is a 3x of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin doubles, we do a 6x. Yeah? If Bitcoin trebles, we'll do a 9x. And this is as alts as a whole. This is others as a whole. All the alts outside the top 10. So you want to find coins that are running harder than others. This index of altcoins. Because this is going to show them as a whole. So you're going to have ones that will run 2x, 100%, 200%. You're going to get ones that run 10x. You're going to get ones that lose. But overall, this index against Bitcoin will most likely do a 3x. But if you're in narratives like AI, like ecosystems, maybe like Solana, for me, I think Ethereum's going to be one that's just going to wake up and send. I think Ethereum, I've said this last time, I've been saying this for a long time now, I think Ethereum is getting price pushed down so big money can get their money, get their positions and bags full. And then I think we're going to get an announcement from the FOMC bullish, and then on the back of that, I think we're going to get Ethereum is going to be allowed, staking is going to be allowed in Ethereum ETFs. And that means big money institutions can go into, just like buying Bitcoin as an ETF, but they'll also get a return, say like a 7% return on staking, plus the price increase on Ethereum. So I think Ethereum, that's why Ethereum's getting squeezed down so hard. Big money can get their bags full, and then the announcement of staking on the ETFs will come, and it will, don't want to swear in case it just gets lost on YouTube, but it will send Ethereum skywards. But yeah, make sure you're in stuff like AI, or I don't want to say AI, I don't want to ever tell you what it is, but look for yourself narratives, something like AI, something like Solana, something like Ethereum hasn't proven itself yet, but I believe it will. Once you're in a narrative there and you pick good coins that are running hard in that narrative, you're going to outstrip others. So when this index does a 3x on whatever Bitcoin does, if you pick good coins, you know, this is an average of the index, so you're going to get coins that do a 2x, a 1x, a 3x, 3x. You're also going to get ones that do lose money against Bitcoin, and you're also going to get the ones that do 6, 7, 8, 10x. Imagine you get an altcoin that does a 10x against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin goes up, and Bitcoin just doubles, you've got 20x. Because you've picked the right altcoin to run hard against Bitcoin. This is the absolute critical part. This is why you do not listen to channels like Crypto Banter, all those. I want to swear, but I'm not going to swear in case it ruins the video, but they just flog you alts, and they're not even showing you. They're not even showing the chart against Bitcoin. What they should be doing is, hey guys, I want to show you this. I think this alt's going to be good. I want you to, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you how it performs against the others, against the rest of the market, how it's performing here, and blah blah blah. All they do is, oh, this one's a hot topic, it's going to run. They've got their bags full because they're insiders, and they just dump on their own guys. They dump on their own community. And that's how they are so rich. It's so bad because people come into the crypto market trying to make money, and the first thing, there's not many people they can turn to. So, you know, you go to YouTube to find someone to try and help you in that. And these guys, oh, Crypto Banter, other ones as well, 1 million subscribers. Oh, they seem like really sound guys. Oh, they're doing this there. They must know what they're talking about. And all they're doing is selling you a coin and dumping on you. It's so bad. It's so bad. So guys, don't listen to anyone. And if anyone does give you a tip, just grab that coin and look at it against Bitcoin. Because if it is not outperforming Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin. Why buy a coin that is not going to beat Bitcoin? Yeah, so let me have a look. I don't want to compare. I want to, how do I get into, let me add one in. So let us do, I don't know, let's just say Gala versus Bitcoin. So they're telling you, buy Gala, buy Gala. It's got all this stuff coming up. It's got new tokenomics, it's got a new team, it's got a big conference coming up. Okay, that's all sound. But don't take them for what they're just telling you their opinion. You then type in that and compare it against Bitcoin. You type in whatever symbol it is versus Bitcoin, and then you have a look at the chart. They got it? Gala. Yeah, that should be it. Yeah. So, you can see the only time Gala outstripped Bitcoin is on its release. And when was this? This was the alt season that lasted, 6 months last year, and just things ripped. And ever since then, once you sold that there, move into Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is outpacing this coin on every single bar. All the way down. And they're telling you to buy Bitcoin. Look, it's pumped in December 2022. Buy Gala. It's pumped up a little bit. Dumps. Carries on. They tell you to buy it, pumps up, and dumps. Look what a disaster it would have been. You could have just bought Bitcoin, and you would have saved yourself that loss. Because this is priced against Bitcoin. So this is how far it's gone down against Bitcoin. So whenever you are doing your altcoin research, you must do your ticker name against Bitcoin and then look at it. Now, fair enough, if this, let's just say for example, I don't know, there's a trend line here and there's a breakout on some huge news, maybe it might be worth buying in. But until that happens, you have to let this coin prove to you it is breaking out. You can't just buy it here and be like, oh, I was listening to YouTube and they told me to buy it because it was a good price. This is dead. This is just dead, bleeding out. So you have to wait until you get confirmation of a breakout or anything like that. You need to see the uptrend, you need to see higher highs. If this started doing something like this, you could maybe buy in here because you've got high, lower, high, higher high, lower high, buy in there on the retest of that. And then at least you're buying on confirmation if you really want to buy that altcoin. You're buying on a confirmed uptrend breakout. But just to buy it because someone tells you to buy it, do not do that, guys. You have to do your own research. And you hear the people, they'll say it to you, oh, by the way, do your own research. They're just blasé saying it. They're not explaining to you why you need to do your own research like I've just done it there. Because you will lose money in the alts if you are not smart about it. You have to be smart. You have to be on the ball there because these insiders will chew you up. We're in the crypto market and everyone's kind of, let's be honest, everyone's pally with each other in crypto because there's not many of us around there. But they will try and dump on you. They will try and outpace you. They will dump on you and just move on to the next one. So you have to do your own research, and that's the reason why you have to do your own research. You have to be outperforming Bitcoin, because if you're not outperforming Bitcoin, you're losing money. If you're not outperforming Bitcoin, you could have just bought Bitcoin and make money. But if you bought something else, you're losing money. And who wants to lose money? There's no point of being in this game for losing money. You have to be smart, guys. So, sorry, I was went off on a random tangent there, but I hate seeing people lose money with alts and people dumping on it. Drives me mad. One of the reasons I started this channel, to be fair. Okay, let's get back onto the game here. Compare your alts to others. Yeah, so that's just what I explained there. So cool, we're almost there, guys. Feel if you need to pause it and just go for a break or get a cup of tea, then fair enough, come back to it, guys. But I just want to give these updates I think they're key, very key updates for everyone. Okay, UST USDT dominance. This is the chart from 2017 up to now. And when dominance is at its height, that's when people rotate from crypto into stablecoins. And when price moves down, that's like here, this is when people rotate. This is when people move from their stablecoins and buy bitcoins, and that sell pressure pushes price up. Now, we have a huge trend line here and a wedge. This trend line breaks, we are making so much money, guys, and I think it's going to be breaking. So there's the good news. However many minutes into this video, done. Because when this breaks down, we have the huge trend line that will break down, so it'll force, you have to do it will move down in, you've got to think of the size of this trend line. It's not just going to move down like here and then go back up, like that. It's going to be a move down in proportion to this, which could be something like here. Yeah, like a huge move down, and that will just be everyone rotating stablecoins into crypto, and it will create such a demand, it will fly price up. So we've got this trend line, we've got this descending triangle, and this descending triangle, especially from a top, which it's been at, is a reversal pattern. So this reversal pattern, I'm going to delete that. Let me just get this cleared off a little bit, guys. There we are. So let's create a descending triangle. Look what has happened. It is now broken down. So it's working in there. It's came up, it's tapped up, and it's broken down on this smaller trend. But this smaller trend started from the start of January. So that's a 4-month trend. Each one of these candles are a week. That's a 4-month trend. And look, it just looks like nothing there compared to this huge, bigger picture. So bearish triangle, and we have bearish divergence. Now this is good for us. This is creating higher highs, and this is creating lower highs. This is good because we want this to come down, because we want people to rotate from stables into crypto to send price up. And look what we got, guys. We've got stochastic RSI both under here, confirming a reversal if it closes in the next 8 hours. So if this is a reversal, price will move down. And if we look on the daily, you can see that we are bull flagging. See? I drew this wee squiggle. But we're bull flagging. So you'll get a measured move down. So down, across, down. Yeah. And then we're into this trend line. Now, it might bounce up again. But if it breaks on this way, it's going to break down, I think, at some point. So it breaks on this way, and then goes down from there, or it goes up and then breaks down. One or the other, but it's coming. Now, to hit the bottom of this triangle, it has to break this. It has to break this trend line. Now, if it breaks this trend line again, I don't think it's holding. It's already come into this key support and resistance through this whole time. I think when it comes down again, it's going to break it, and that will send markets absolutely flying. So, and we've also got the on the weekly first red print. Now, if you look here, you can see that when it consolidates, it drags up, red print, drags up, red print, big move down. Drags up, you get the red print, big move down. So we're getting the first stamp of the red print with a confirmed reversal, RSI divergence into a bearish pattern that'll break the major trend line. It's all setting up, guys. All setting up. So let's just confirm what we've got. Oh, I've got one more. The dollar. Guys, I've talked about this before at the start of the channel. Look at this huge trend line. Let's go on the monthly. So each one of these candles are, each one candle is one single month. And this channel is a bearish channel upwards. These break down the majority of the time. And it's been going from 2007, 2008, from the great financial crisis. This has just been channeling up. This is the dollar. And if the dollar breaks down, similar to like the stable coins, when there's a weaker dollar, people move away from the dollar into risk on, into stocks, into crypto. I'll look at the size of this move that could potentially be coming. Like before, this break of this channel needs to be, it won't just be a little break like this. Maybe if it fakes out. But if this channel breaks down, which it will do 70% of the time, you need a proper breakdown. In proportion of this move here, of this huge move up here, a big yearly long breakdown or something like that. And that's exactly what Trump wants. He wants a weaker dollar so he can export across the world. Every other country wants a weaker dollar, so when they pay back their loans, they get to pay it in a weaker dollar, so they're worth more, so they're paying less in their own currency. So everyone wants a weaker dollar. Trump wants it so he can export across the world, and all the other countries want it so they can pay back their debt, and they'll get more bang for their buck because the dollar's weaker and their currency is stronger against it. So everyone wants a weaker dollar. You're in this huge channel here upwards. For me, this will just be the icing on the cake here. You might get a bounce up and it might break down, who knows, but I think that when this break happens, it's going to send everything, and it's completely in sync with the stable coins breaking down. It's completely in sync with this popping back up. It's completely in sync with others bouncing off. In sync with Bitcoin dominance coming down. With ETH Bitcoin hitting the bottom. Others is now going to be breaking out. Total 3 breaking out. Total 2 breaking out. And the the Fed stopping the runoff of their balance sheet. You see, guys, this is all setting up. All the charts are aligning. And this is exactly what it was last time. And what we were saying last time is coming true. We're getting these moves down now. USTD dominance is starting to move down. This is exactly what we were looking for. It's going to top out here and start moving down. Everything we looked at there is coming true. It's the next step forward. So we are getting more and more bullish. The charts are all setting up for something. Now we just need the news, whatever this is going to be, if it's going to be the FOMC cutting, if it's going to be the FOMC reducing the balance sheets, if it's going to be the Ukraine and Russia war all corrected, if it's going to be the China tariffs all sorted, or if it's going to be everything like that all at once. There's going to be some sort of narrative that's going to come out in the media and it's going to send everything off into orbit. And we're all going to be very, very rich people. So guys, that's the full update for you. Let me just have a quick look. I don't really think I've got anything else there. That's been a very in-depth. If you guys are still listening to the end, I said this last time, if you're still listening to the end, put your name in the comments. Just say you've listened to the end, because you never know, guys. One day I might put out something and whoever's been listening from the start, I'll look after you. So guys, if you haven't liked this, like it. If you haven't, put a comment, because it helps push this video out. I want these when alt season videos to push out. I want them to be successful because it helps everyone see it, and it helps everyone hopefully make some money. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe. I want 150 guys. Come on, help me out here. And then hopefully, guys, we're getting very close to this coming to an end now, and we're going to start making the last move up, and hopefully the alts will be running with it. Now, I have my own system for getting out, so that's another reason for subscribing, because I will be posting when I'm exiting the market. So don't worry if you're stressing how you're thinking you're going to do it. At least you can listen to me, and if you get some use out of it, then brilliant. So guys, I hope you like that update. I won't do the daily update today because this is just a monster anyway. So, but I'll be back tomorrow with a daily update. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Have a good one, guys. Until next time. Cheers. Bye.